Peggy 16.
As the Empire of Man recovers from the Great War against Chaos, those in the Old World celebrate Magnus's victory. But the Dark Gods are planning their revenge. The safety of the Empire is now threatened by a new enemy who dares to strike at Magnus himself. The fate of the Empire lies in our hands. If Magnus dies, the Empire dies with him.
Hey everyone, I'm Chris from the XBoxOne team. Today, we're going to highlight Alontir, the High Elf Mage. Please remember, the gameplay images you're going to see are from an alpha version of the game. During the Great War against Chaos, Magnus the Pious declared an immediate amnesty for any magic user willing to serve. Alontir gained quite the reputation during the war for his mastery of the magical arts, both when fighting the forces of Chaos in Prague and during the Siege of Kislev. He specializes in dealing damage from a distance. Through his mastery of the winds of magic, Alontir can cast a number of different spells. He replenishes his magical energy by dealing damage. The flip side is that his spells consume a lot of energy to cast. It's up to you to choose the right combination of spells to make the most of Alontir's abilities. Whilst he deals damage with single target attacks, it's his area of effect abilities where he really shines. For example, Aetheric Hurricane is a great way to hold off a group of enemies while inflicting damage, and by casting Phoenix Shield, he can create a wall of flame, perfect for lighting up an oncoming horde. As a ranged caster, Alontir is vulnerable in melee combat, but he's not weighed down by the heavy armor of a soldier, making him much more agile, using both his dexterity and magic to stay out of harm's way. But don't worry, if you're running low on energy, he knows his way around a blade. Warhammer Chaosbane is great in co-op, and Alontir can play a vital role in the team. Alontir can freeze time to give his allies, or himself, the chance to unleash their fury on entire waves of Chaos Demons. And by toggling the right stick of your controller, or by holding down the spacebar on a keyboard, you can move and direct your abilities to follow the enemy's movements. Alontir's most powerful spells come from the god Hoath, the elven god of knowledge, learning, and wisdom, the patron god of wizards. You can unlock these new abilities from a specific skill tree. But if that's not enough to crush the threat of chaos, then he can activate his Bloodlust abilities. With these exceptional new skills, you can activate devastating new spells for a short period of time, especially handy during boss fights. That's a wrap for the gameplay video dedicated to the High Elf Mage, Alontir. Hey everyone, I'm Chris from the XBoxOne team. Today, I want to introduce Conrad Valen, one of the 4 playable heroes in Warhammer Chaosbane. Before we begin, please remember the gameplay you're going to see is from a version of the game that is still in development. Valen is a captain of the Empire, trained in arms from a young age, and a veteran of many battles against the enemies who threaten the old world. He's a strong fighter who can take heavy damage and deal with entire hordes of enemies. He's a close combat specialist and always carries a shield to fend off attacks. Valen's combat skills are mainly based on melee attacks, crowd control, and area of effect abilities. With his powerful melee attacks, Valen can crush any enemy. and with attacks that cause high area damage, he can stand up to enemy hordes. Valen can also taunt enemies, so they focus him and leave his allies alone. By planting banners and fighting in the area of effect, Valen and his allies can take advantage of considerable bonuses during fights. This includes bonuses to damage, armor, and immunity to crowd control. Each character also has a unique class skill. Valen uses a shield to knock back enemies and stun them. In Warhammer Chaosbane, all playable characters are aligned with a god. As a captain of the Empire, Valen worships the all-powerful Sigma, patron god of the Empire. By making offerings to your patron god, you can unlock passive skills to improve your character's abilities, as well as even more powerful active skills. The gifts bestowed by Sigma are not only the extraordinary weapons Valen has at his disposal. As he fells the creatures of chaos, he feels his bloodlust god. Once full, he can unleash his fury with new supercharged skills, perfect for getting out of a tight spot. With the first level of bloodlust, he can tear through enemies with a warhammer. On the second level, he summons a huge shield and charges through the creatures of chaos while dealing immense damage. At the highest level is the ability to smash the ground with superhuman strength, dealing heavy area damage and repelling the enemies around him. That's it for the gameplay video dedicated to Conrad Valen. Follow Chaosbane on social media for more details and gameplay videos, and I'll see you next time.